Last Saturday, I finally took advantage of an award that I won in December for a free day at an estancia in the Pampas, just outside of Buenos Aires in San Antonio de Areco. My friends and I headed out of Retiro Station, driving along the highway, and about a 2-hour drive to Estancia El Ombu de Areco. Along the way, we passed by those quintessential fields that you find in Argentina just outside of Buenos Aires. And once we got to the town, we had to take another taxi about 20 kilometers to the estancia. We arrived a little after noon, so we had just gotten there when we were offered an empanada and a glass of wine. As a nice day trip outside of the city, we spent some time just relaxing, reading, and listening to nature. Alright, so we're at El Ombu de Areco, this estancia in the Pampas, in the province of Buenos Aires. And I was invited here for a day in the country. And it's really nice. It's actually right next to La Bamba de Areco, which is another estancia that I've been to. You can see they have a pool, which we can't use right now because it's winter. A lot of ivy on the walls, and just a really nice, charming place. The nicest thing is that you can actually hear birds chirping, which I rarely get to hear in the city of Buenos Aires. And we got really lucky too, because it's, the beginning of August, it's still the middle of winter. I took a walk around the facilities and found that the nicest thing was that it was just a peaceful and quiet place to be for a few hours. The estancia has several rooms for if you choose to spend the night. However, you can just come for the day like I did. This is the living room. They have a fireplace, some old-fashioned furniture that you can sit on, and over here, the coolest part of the room is the billiards table. And back there they have a stereo and a little bit of a library to check out some books. The dining room was nicely set up and playing jazz just before lunch was served. And if you take a look against the wall, you'll find that the estancia also markets their own wine. After a delicious and abundant lunch, we were serenaded by an old gaucho who played the guitar and sang love songs. Once the songs were done, we were treated to some non-violent horse training, which is traditional in this part of the country and has been going on for centuries. As you can see, they're more like horse whisperers, and they do not use shouting or yelling to get the horse's attention. The gauchos are able to move and maneuver the horses as they please, as if they are working together for one team effort. If you've never seen it before, it really is an amazing thing to witness. In my experience with other young travelers to Argentina, I feel like this is a relatively unknown activity, which is a big shame because it really is impressive and it's worth the cost, especially when you take into account the value that you get for a day in the estancia. Typical day trips to estancias are all-inclusive, meaning that you get a welcome drink and snack, usually an empanada, followed by a really big barbecue lunch, a show such as this, and after that a horseback ride or maybe bike riding. The whole performance only lasted about 10 to 15 minutes, but the small crowd was awed in silence throughout the entire thing. Our trip to the Estancia ended with a fairly long horseback ride around the property, in which we were able to gallop at some points and eventually made our way to a riverbed. In general, the pampas are flat, open land, which is essentially pretty boring for the eye. However, with days like this, you do have something fun to look forward to. At Estancia El Ombu de Areco in San Antonio de Areco, I'm John Brandt.